Okay, hello everyone, let's get started. So we continue our playlist related to Cloudera cluster setup. So last time, if you haven't seen this video yet, we talked about Cloudera Manager installation on Ubuntu. So if you haven't seen it yet, that's the right time to do that. So the link should appear right now on the top right corner. So really suggest to watch it just to know what it's all about. So today we'll talk about two very important moments. So the first one is related to network setup in our cluster. So we will set up a network within VirtualBox, so all our cluster nodes would see each other and could communicate. Okay, and after that, we'll also set up the first node of our cluster, which later in the upcoming video we will connect to Cloudera Manager. Okay, so let's start by creating a network in a VirtualBox. So here, under preferences, file preferences, we have network, and let's add a new one. Okay, so let's call it our CDH network, and here basically we set up our network. So what is the address of our network? 20.10.020, and each host within this network will get a network address within this network, so starting from 1, 2, 3 and 4. So the first three parts would be the same. Okay, also we'll need port forwarding later on, just to be able to connect to each node of our cluster from our Windows machine, right? So that's not needed right now. Okay, let's click OK. Okay, so here we should change our network settings for our CDH manager. Let's go to networks, NAT, and let's change it to NAT network and CDH network. Okay, okay, fine. Let's start it. So just to check whether everything works as it should, I mean in terms of networking, let's check whether the address here is within this network. So by default, if we don't set up any networks in VirtualBox, all virtual machines in VirtualBox will get the same IP address. And that's the issue, of course, if we want to connect multiple virtual machines in one cluster. Obviously, they should have different IP addresses. So that's the reason behind why we should set this NAT network. Okay, so while it's loading, as we saved it last time, let's create okay, we are not able to do that. So that the first thing we should do, and the second one, let's set up a first node of our cluster, right? So it's taking a while. So as you remember, we also have a Cloudera Manager set up already on this virtual machine. So next time we'll start adding our nodes, which we'll set up today, to our Cloudera Manager. So that would be the first step when we set up our cluster. To add nodes to cluster and then install everything we need. Okay, almost done. And as a reminder, we dedicated 16 gigs of RAM and 4 CPUs or 4 cores to this manager. Yeah, to nodes, I will dedicate 8 gigs of RAM per node and 2 cores, right? Okay, so maybe we would need to restart our virtual machine to be able to use newly updated IP address. Let's see. Okay. Okay, let's see. F, so we use credentials we created last time. Okay, and let's use command if config to check the configuration. Yeah, okay, so the network address is 20.10.02.15. Okay, yeah, so as you see here in that address 10.02.15, so that's the address which will be assigned to each virtual machine if we don't set up a network like we did. Okay, so probably we need to restart it. Okay, so we can do that by issuing sudo sbin shut down with option R, which means restart, and now it means we want to restart it now. Let's enter password. Okay, so our machine is being restarted now. Yeah, so just to be sure that it gets a new IP address. Okay. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, let's check networking, CDH. Okay, yeah, let's start. Let's start it once again to see why it crashed actually. Okay, let's use Ubuntu. That should be fine. Okay, so our goal now is to check the IP address, that it's not a default 10.0.2.15 like it was, but it's changed to something more meaningful. Okay. Okay, we are here, and if config, no, it's still 10.0.2.0.15. Okay, that's could be also fine, but just let's check. Let's check what we'll have once we have a new node installed. Okay, let's call it cdh node 1. Okay, let's take it Linux and Ubuntu. Okay, let's give it 8 gigs of RAM. Okay, like previously, let's give it 100 gigs. Okay, okay, let me move it to a different location where I have. Let's create a node 1, and here I have it. Okay. Okay, yeah, we should also have buffer. Okay, processors, let's use 2 CPUs. Acceleration, it should be enabled. Okay, and for storage, let's use our Ubuntu. Okay, let's start it. Oh, actually I forgot about networking, sorry. Sorry. Yeah, and also don't forget to select here NAT network and CDH network, okay? Okay, yeah, now it should be fine. Okay, so the setup process should be pretty straightforward and fast. Yeah, so if you have seen that previously, meaning that you have watched the CDH Manager, so it's not a different one. Yeah, so just feel free to rewind it to the forward. Yeah, that's also fine. Okay, let's wait while all events have been started. Yeah, it takes a while. Yeah, also, if you do that on your oven, okay. Yeah, 04. Proxy, don't need any proxy. The whole disk, done. Continue. Okay. Let's use it once again. So just provide your names. Okay, node 1. We'll need to edit that a bit later. Okay, so it makes sense if you use the same credentials for this server as well. Don't forget to install OpenSH. Nothing else is needed. Okay, let's go. Okay, Cloudera Manager is still running. Yeah, so after that the setup is completed, we'll just ping one server from another to be sure that manager sees node 1 and node 1 sees manager, right? So once it is done, we can also conclude our video. So it takes a while. Let's wait a bit. And also in preferences network, later on we'll need to set up port forwarding like we did last time for CDH Manager. So now we are using a NAT network, not a standalone NAT forwarding, so that's why port forwarding we set up last time, it's not applicable anymore. Yeah, so we need to do that forwarding using this setup, like here. So how to use it I will tell you a bit later in the next video. Okay, but we can do that while we are waiting. So what we should do, so the IP address of CDH Manager is 10.0.2.1 to 15. Okay, so we should use it here. Just double click, port forwarding, add. So the rule name, it's up to you. Okay, let me SSH. Okay, so if we connect to a host port of our machine, that means to local host, it will be forwarded to 10.02.15. So to IP address of our internal network to the port 22, right? So if we connect to localhost 22, this request will be forwarded to port 22 to our manager, right? Okay. Manager, Cloudera Manager. So if we connect to port 7180 of our local host, it will be which is the port of Cloudera Manager server. It will be forwarded to that IP address to the following port. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, okay. Yes, allow access. Okay, is it completed? No, it's not. In the meantime, let's check whether we can still connect to our Cloudera machine. Yeah, indeed we can. So as you see, this manager, yeah, we can do that. So port forwarding works perfectly. And as it was said before, yeah, just use this kitty because it's better in terms of copy pasting and so on. Okay, so when this open SSH is finished, we can restart our node 1 and see whether it works. Yeah, so for now we should get an IP address of node 1 to be able to set up port forwarding. Okay. Okay, let it also download and install all security updates which are applicable. And also let's check whether we can connect to Cloudera Manager. Yeah, so the port forwarding to that port also works as it should. Yeah, as you see, we can do that. So everything is fine. So port forwarding in terms of CDH Manager, VM works perfectly fine, right? Okay. Let's wait for CDH node 1 to complete installation, and then we'll just replicate it. So we don't need to install it over and over again. Okay, so the IP address would be 4, if I'm not mistaken, as we saw that in installation step. So let's add it. And the thing is, okay, so node 1 SSH, which means that if we connect, okay, so as you see, host port of our local machine 22 is already busy, so we should connect to host port 222 of our local machine to be forwarded to the SSH port of our node 1. Okay, okay, okay. So let's wait until setup is completed, and then let's try to connect to it. Yeah? Yeah. So the problem which you could face is that you don't have any resources to be able to create multiple virtual machines. Yeah, so if we are talking about node in Cloudera Cluster, we should at least dedicate 8 gigs of RAM. And that could be a problem for some of you. And for the node on which we'll run our Cloudera Manager server, we need to have well, 16, right? So if you don't have enough memory on your host computer to give it to virtual machines, just stay tuned to our YouTube channel and watch how that works in reality. Okay, we are able to reboot now. Okay, please remove installation medium, so it will be removed automatically by a VirtualBox. We don't need to do anything. Okay, so let's wait once it's up. Okay, so here it's our manager. Okay, and let's wait while node 1 is up, and then we'll create a new connection from Kitty to it as well. Okay, seems to be up. Okay, so we use the same localhost, but as you remember, the port we should connect to is 222, right? Because port 22 on our local machine is already dedicated to Cloudera Manager node. Okay. Okay, so the first time we connect, yes, that's a warning. Okay. Okay, and we are in on node 1. Okay, so we are able to connect to multiple hosts, virtual hosts from our local PC. And the last one, let's ping each other. 2.15. Okay, yeah, so 15 once again is this one. Oops, sorry, if config. Okay, so 10.02.0.15, 10.02.0.15. So node 1 is able to ping manager, so it means it sees it from network perspective. And now let's see if manager node sees our manager node sees node 1. Okay. Okay, as you see, it's also pings it successfully if config. Yeah, so we see net address 10.02.24, 10.02.04. Okay, so everything works perfectly fine. Okay, I think we can close all our virtual machines, and next time I'll show you how to replicate this CDH node 1, so we don't need to set up everything once again for our node 2, right? So that's one thing. And another one, how we should adjust our host names both on manager node and node 1 to be able to use it within Cloudera Manager server. Yeah, but that would be next time. So that's all for today. Thanks to all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have done that yet. Okay, also recommend to visit our blog available at blog.dataguru.guide. So we post some interesting stuff there from time to time, so don't forget to visit it as well. Yeah, but that's all for today. Thanks to all for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.